guess you're probably just saying in general. I think that's 6 anyway, so yeah, I see what you're saying. Never mind. Ignore that comment. Alright, so today, for those who did not know, they released some new details about the expansion. They have a little bit more details on some of the new civs. And we have the 10 maps that they also showcase in this. And I will give a very, very honest opinion on what I think about it. So let's see here. You know, so as we know, 2 new civs, 4 variants, 10 new maps, new biomes, 8 mission single player campaign for the campaign lovers, and then plus lots of unlockable content, including masters and achievements for the achievement and mastery lovers out there. So I don't think this is going to tell us much anything here. We're just going over the new stuff. I don't want to read like every little detail. Yeah, this just goes over the typical, you know, new units, new landmarks, all that stuff. So let's scroll down to the Byzantines, because I think they announced some new things here. So the Byzantines construct aqueducts, harvest olive oil as a new resource, hire mercenaries from other civilizations, and utilize devastating Greek fire. And so here's some new details that we haven't had confirmed until now. Some additional mechanics for the Byzantines includes the Field Stones bonus, which provides a small amount of stone whenever a building is constructed, with larger buildings providing a larger bonus. Outpost keeps and wall towers also have a new unique mangonel emplacement. That sounds way better than a springled emplacement, I'll tell you that much. Imagine going up to a tower and getting mangonelled. Oh man, that sounds really strong. Similar to its siege counterpart, these emplacements excel against tightly packed enemies. I mean, yeah, that's way, like, think about this, right? You have the springled outpost, which, you know, is the main, you mainly see it with like Mongols, but now you have the mangonel emplacements. Like, what? So imagine this: you're going to go attack your opponent. He has 3 outposts, and 3 mangonel shots come at you, and you're not paying attention, and your archers die. They're gone. You're definitely going to see this in use, by the way. 100%. That mangonel placement, you're going to see this a lot with Byzantines, I think. Like, it's going to be, at least I assume it's going to be super strong. The question is, and I think I know the answer, is it dodgeable like mangonels right now? Because if you can dodge it, then theoretically, you know, because normal mangonels, for those who don't know, you can actually dodge it. And so if you end up dodging it, you know, if you know how to dodge, you have to dodge exactly once it fires is when you move your units, and you can avoid the whole fire. So I'd be very curious if, I assume it's dodgeable, but still, if you're not paying attention, you can get a mangonel shot to your archer line, and it's going to be devastating. Does the replacement springled and bombard? My guess is it would replace the bomb, or the... Ooh, that's actually a good question. Because if it replaces the Bombard Tower, then it's just, and it's not available to Imperial Age, then it's just the new Bombard Tower, which means it's actually, I don't even know if it's better than a Bombard Tower or not. Ooh, or is it a Castle Age thing? And does it replace the springled emplacement? I didn't think about that till you just mentioned it, so that's a good question. I don't know. Either way, I still think we'll see it for sure, but if it's a Castle Age emplacement that's super Omega strong, if it's an Imperial emplacement replacing the Bombard Outpost, then it's really nothing different. It's really kind of the same, except it's mangonels instead of Bombard Towers. Anyway, that's the new details we have on here. From what I've heard, the small amount of stone whenever a building is constructed is not very much, and you have to use it for other things. Okay, I'll be nice and say no thanks to that real quick. But anyway, that's the only new details we have for Byzantines, but that is some new stuff, right? Mangonel placement and Fieldstone bonus. Then we have the Japanese. The Japanese have access to several unique units such as the Samurai, Shinobi, Bannerman, and the Onimusha, as well as some dual-purpose buildings and powerful daimyo upgrades for their town center. We kind of already knew this, but I think this is new. I could be wrong. The civilization has a unique mining bonus. 20% of gold dropped off is received as bonus stone and vice versa. So what this means is if you gather stone, 20% goes to gold. If you gather gold, 20% goes to stone. Or I guess in a bonus, 20% goes to those. So that's definitely new. I think a civilization AOE2 actually has this bonus, so I'm wondering if that's where they got the idea. But yeah, this gives the Japanese access to both resources even when only one type of deposit is being mined. In the Imperial Age, the Japanese are able to construct castles, unique keeps with powerful rocket emplacements. So they have. I know I heard Beastie talking about how he said that these powerful rockets are very strong and also go towards like they rival Chinese keeps, is I think what he said earlier today, if I heard correctly. So, this will be really strong. Be very interested to see how it plays out. But let's go down a little bit further to the new variant civilizations. I haven't actually read this page very much, so I don't know too much on what it says it's new. So let's see. This just explains variant civilizations. So the Ayyubids trade the classic House of Wisdom unique technologies that the Abbasid dynasty receives for a choice between multiple bonuses on each wing and a stronger emphasis on camels, such as receiving support from infantry instead of vice versa. So this is actually some unique information that is we now know, and we suspected this, right? But we now know that the classic House of Wisdom texts that Abbasid have, Ayyubids do not have. Ayyubids instead get a choice between multiple bonuses, and notice choice, so I would assume that means you can only choose one, and of each wing. So I'll be curious what those are, and a stronger emphasis on camels, which we kind of figured that one already. We saw they have new camels and stuff. So this kind of gives us a good knowledge that, we know that they're not going to have the eco bonus now, where they get cheaper farms, cheaper town centers. We don't know what the military wing would be. We don't know what the trade wing will be or anything, but we can assume, a lot of those things will be removed and different. So that's kind of the new news there. For Joan d'Arc, the French civilization and trades some of its classic civilization bonuses. So the Jean d'Arc no longer gets faster training villagers and does not have cheaper resource drop-off buildings. Obviously, they have a powerful hero unit, Jean d'Arc herself. So this is, again, good information to have, right? We now know that they don't have the cheap, again, we just said it, cheap resource buildings, the mills, lumber camps, faster villager production. Does it also drop the cheaper, like, wheelbarrow and stuff? Because right now French does get cheaper wheelbarrow. Does that mean that as well for Jean d'Arc Civ? So we now know that those are removed, but what's replacing it in total other than the unit? Or is it just the unit plus you remove all that? Who knows? But so that's some new information. I know a lot of people on Reddit and even on Twitch chats were worried that why would you play the original civs if you can play the new civs? And as suspected, it's because the new civs aren't going to have what the old civs have in a lot of ways. They are different civilizations, as we're seeing here. So just kind of confirms things that at least I've already suspected. The Order of the Dragon replaces many of the classic Holy Roman Empire units with gilded versions, which outmatch their counterparts in the battlefield, but cost more resources, time, and population. We already knew this. There's nothing new here that I can see. And then Zhu Zix's legacy takes inspiration from the philosopher and re-envisions the Chinese classic dynasty bonuses and landmarks for a focus on economy and long-term efficiency instead of fast expansion. Now, I believe, and I don't remember who said this, they stated that the Song Dynasty does not have the faster villager production time that China has. So we already know that's a difference. There's going to be new dynasty bonuses, and obviously the landmarks are going to be different, which we already knew. So again, people were saying the same thing. Why would I play China if the China variant's better? But again, this kind of shows that they are different civs. These may be variant civs. They're going to have some similarities, but they also have some good differences as well. And that's it for the civ information that at least that I'm aware of at this point. And now comes at least my part, the new maps, which I did listen to quite a few people who played these maps talk about them, so we can definitely go into some details here that I've gotten from them. Why do we play HRE when Dragon Order is better? My assumption is Order of the Dragon is going to be the same as the others. It's not going to have the same bonuses as HRE, so there are going to be differences. But what those differences are, I don't know, because they don't really give any differences. I assume there's differences, but not sure. So there's 10 new maps that they say are exclusive to owners of the expansion. My assumption would be that these will still pop up on the ladder. You just won't be able to play them in custom unless you own the expansion. So African Waters. Experience immediate conflict from the start as players must battle to secure both space and resources. So, from what I was hearing, there's not much wood on this map. There's like 5 deep sea fish on each side, and the players spawn really close together. So you spawn like here and here. And I can't remember what else they said, but all I know is that the other content creators have said that they are close together. You get a backwater, and yeah. Obviously, this is going to surprise you guys. This is an insta veto for me if this ends up on the ladder. I will never play this map if I can avoid it. Just not a fan. We do see the sacred sites here on the corners. And that's about all I know about that map. And then we have Cliffside. Why? I don't like water maps. Will Family Pass be enabled for this expansion? No idea. A pattern of cliffs and passes weaves across the map, exposing rich stone and gold deposits. What might be on the other side? From what I heard on this map is the cliffs are very like specific when they spawn. Like it's not like Lipany, but it spawns in very a consistent manner, is what I've heard. I'm not sure. Like, it sounds to me, because we can kind of see the cliffs here, it makes it sound to me like this map's gonna be very easy to wall. Like, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of. So if it's a choky map that's easy to wall, this could be a map I could see myself not wanting to, this could be on my veto list too. I'm not sure. I have to actually see it. You can only tell so much from the mini map, right? So it's hard to say. No, it hasn't arrived yet. 6 minutes. Either way, so when I look at these two maps, I'm thinking, okay, I'm not sure how I like these maps so far. He probs didn't tip. Yes, I always tip. Thank you very much, peanuts or dollars. How dare you try to put me in a bad light? That's very rude, and I should give you a paddling, son. All right, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next section. So these first two maps, not again, you can't really see them, but this one obviously is very clear. I'm not going to like this map. This is no surprise. There's nothing that can change my mind on that one. This one I have to actually see. All right, and then we have, now this is a unique map. This is like a very interesting map. So, forts. Emerging civilizations have dug up themselves into small defensive forts awaiting an imminent clash for supremacy. So each player spawns in this, and the water does not have fish. You're just surrounded by this and a very small base, so you have to move out. You can't just stay in your base. All the resources are out on the map. There's 2 sacred sites. And so this map actually intrigues me, because this is a map that kind of goes about the philosophy I always like, where you need map control. You can't just sit in your base, otherwise you will be severely punished, and this map shows that. Because this isn't a very big area, so you can't really build very much in here. At least the picture makes it seem that way, and from what I heard from I think it was BC who was talking about, said this was very, very small. Like you can't build too much in here. So that's a map I can see myself like. I can see myself liking this map because it's going to be a very aggressive map, I feel like, and I love aggressive maps. Give me those aggressive maps. I'm all about it. So this map, thumbs up just from what I've seen so far. Obviously, I have to play it and see it to really give an actual opinion, but that's my first impressions. And then we have Glade. While the initial wall of force provides a sense of security, you must soon venture out of your hideout to battle for resources. I'm going to be honest, just from looking at the picture, this map doesn't seem very exciting. You're surrounded by trees. There's one entrance to your map. The only thing is I believe that all the resources are out on the map as well, so there's not like a lot in your base. So Again, this is a map I have to actually see, I think. Like, I can't really give a good opinion from the picture because is the rush distance close? Is it far? If all the resources are in the center in this area and you only have limited resources in your base, then this map could be okay. But until I see it, I'm not really sure. There are some mountain clearings coming, by the way. I have looked at these maps. Okay. Golden Pit. The central pit maintains numerous large gold deposits. Conquering the gold deposits will be crucial for victory. This is a land map. I believe there's no water. The big gold mines are going to be in your base. If it works like AOE2, I believe you get 2 gold mines to yourself or something like that. And there's resources around it, obviously, for food and wood and gold. I like maps like this personally. Does this map not have any sacred sites, by the way? I don't see a sacred site icon on here. But maybe I'm just blind. So, you know, again, have to see it for sure. But Golden Pit is a custom map, and it has been in my tournament before. I have had Golden Pit in one of my very first tournaments I hosted. And I like the map. So, for me, I think it's fine. If it goes like the map that's currently in the game, you know, has 2 gold mines for your base, you know, it's 8,000 gold, and then you fight for the center. And 1 keep is not enough to deny gold in the center, by the way. It's actually pretty spread out, at least again, if we're going by the map that's currently, you know, the custom map that was in my tournament. Either way, I like the map, not much else to talk about there. Now, if you wanted another mountain clearing, I believe this is another mountain clearing. Haywire. Expand outwards away from the chaotic center where both allies and foes are settled in close proximity. From what I've heard, or what I think Beastie was saying this, you literally spawn so close together, it's even closer than mountain clearing. Which means, you know, this map, I would not ever want to play this map, just like mountain clearing. The only difference between this and, is there just 1 sacred site? If there's just 1 sacred site in the center, then it's like it's like mountain clearing again. It's just a smaller version of mountain clearing. But supposedly the rush distance on this map is even closer than mountain clearing. So that'll be interesting. Okay, 1 second, fellas. I need to grab my food really quick. This is going to be my most professional YouTube video, by the way. Okay. So, you imagine the meta is to chop right away through like an oasis? Maybe. I guess it depends how it spawns. The way I think about it, though, is if you only get 1 gold mine... I mean, it's hard to say. Without seeing more details, I don't know what to think about this map, other than the fact that I hate it already. But, again, I'm sure it'll be a fun map. Like, this is a map where it'd be fun to watch. Like, maybe once. But then the meta will get figured out on it, and like if you look at Mountain Clearing, you see the same 2 civs, English and HRE. And that's all you get. I assume this map would be the same. But maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows? And then Hidden Valley. A sacred valley cuts its way between 2 large mountains, hidden far behind the tree lines, are secrets and treasures for those who dare to search for them. From what I know, you spawn here and here. You're blocked by trees here and here, so you actually can't get to this middle sacred site. And there's 3 sacred sites, of course. So it kind of looks like the pit, except it's not. It doesn't have a wall of trees right here, it looks like. So it's like a pit without access to the center. I don't think it'd be like French Pass. French Pass has a super long rush distance. This map doesn't seem like the rush distance would be that long. I mean, it's like a pit. You play the pit, you know what the rush distance is going to be, is what it looks like. We'll have to actually see it to give a better opinion. Himyama. Jaina, stop. Sorry, guys, I have to look at my dog real quick to get her to calm down. She got all excited because someone showed up. Alright, so you start atop a hill with scarce resources and venture into the valley to uncover valuable deposits. Be cautious, however, your enemies seek the same treasures. I just got like some chicken and fries. Nothing special. Jaina, stop. Fine, I'll hold your paw. So this isn't like Hill and Dale. From what I gather, there's not like a closed off entrance. What Beastie was saying earlier today was this is a very open map, and the middle only has like 4 shoreline fish. So this is like an interesting map in the fact that if there's only 4 shoreline fish and that's it in the middle, then I feel like that middle water isn't as like game breaking as other hybrid maps, because I mean it's only 2,000 food, which don't get me wrong, that's like a boar. But then it disappears. So I wonder how this map will play out. But if it's as open and it only has 4 shoreline fish, I can see myself liking this map. Like, maybe you spear fight over the middle water still, but I feel like if you don't get the water, it's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, on Golden Heights, if you don't get the water, you lose that game 9 times out of 10. If you're equally skilled. So, you know, normally I don't like water, but otherwise I'm okay with it so far. And then we've got thickets. Vanquish the enemy by taking control of the Holy Lake, or send your armies around the extensive forest and cliff sides to surprise them. This is going to be the biggest shocker. This looks to me like Mediterranean or Baltic. You spawn here and here. You go water. Whoever wins water wins the game. Okay, next. There's not much else to talk about, really. That's literally the map. And then we've got Turtle Ridge, which I think is a map created for, like, you know, like more casual players, not meant to be competitive, which again I think is good. I want to state for the record that despite the fact that I don't like water maps, I do think it's good to always add a variety of maps. You know, you should have open maps, some closed maps, you know, for the casuals, water maps for the water lovers, you know, that kind of stuff. And this map looks like that. You're surrounded by mountains, and there's only one entrance to your base. You literally can't be rushed. You can wall this one section. You're safe. So it's like, you know, this will never be seen in tournaments, I can't imagine, but it looks like a map that you play casually, or, you know. You're nestled between protective mountains and blessed with bountiful resources, so you get a lot of resources. Civilizations have time to both construct impressive fortifications and prepare massive armies to overcome those of their foes. Let the battles begin. This map is literally going to be battling in the middle and just mashing armies together, which is, again, what a lot of people love to do. And there's not really much else to talk about there. So those are the 10 new maps that are... Now, notice how they say exclusive to owners of the expansion. I wonder if that means they're going to have more maps, but they're not exclusive to the expansion, maybe? Alright, dog. Here's your blanket. This will calm you down. Just the way they word it, exclusive to owners of the expansion, makes me wonder if there's more maps. Which I kind of hope there is, but if not... Because I know Bitterland said there was like 11 maps or 12 maps or something. And, yeah. So I'm not sure. That's actually a good point also. You know, we see... These are exclusive to the expansion, right? So what about the golden pit that already exists in the game? Are they going to remove it from the mod store? What if someone makes these maps in the mod? Because someone's going to do it. Someone's going to make these maps. And then people, you know, so then you technically don't need the expansion to play these. If that happens, are they just going to ban those? Or are they just not going to care? I'd be very curious. I'm going to be honest, out of all the things when it comes to the expansion, I feel like trying to make maps exclusive to the expansion is like a very iffy thing to do. And I say iffy for one reason, because again, you can just remake the map for everyone in the mod tool. But second, how does ranked ladder work now? I mean, I know they said that they'll put these exclusive maps into the ladder pool and everyone can play them, but does that mean we're not going to see them on the ladder very often? So we're going to see, like, let's say Forts is on the map in the ranked ladder next season. Is it only going to be there for like a week or two? Then they're like, nope, it's gone, back to the old maps? I mean, if so, then ranked's going to suck. Because some of these new maps look like they'll be good to play. Like Forts, Cliffside may be good, Golden Pit's good. This map looks good. Hidden Valley doesn't seem like it'll be a bad map. So it's like, are we not going to see these on ladder because of it? I mean, that's my only concern. That's my big worry, and that's why I'm not a fan of their phrasing of exclusive to the owners of the expansion. Because I want to be able to play these on ladder. I don't want to be playing Hill and Dale and Altai and all that stuff because they don't want to put these in the ranked map pool because of that. Now, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully I'm just being a worrywart. But that is my little concern when they say stuff like that. But again, I feel like they'll have these on the map, on the ranked map pool. At least I hope so. I guess we'll see. We'll see what they do, right? I mean, I don't like to start off negative because this expansion is super, super good. At least it looks great. The content, there's a lot of content. I love what they're doing. I love that they added 10 new maps. I think it's great. So we'll just focus on the positives and not think about the what ifs. So we'll see how they do it, and if they go the opposite way, you know, if they decide not to add maps, then I'll bitch and moan. But otherwise, we're just gonna be positive about it and say, either way, can't wait for it either way. Then there's 2 new biomes. The Japanese Spring, a nice, beautiful, luscious environment. The Savannah, another beautiful, luscious environment. And let's see what they talk about for the campaign. This new Age of Empires 4 single-player campaign takes place in the Middle East during the European Crusades. You'll take on the role of the Muslim resistance and follow the story of historic Muslim leaders and their struggles with the European Crusaders. Players will fight against the Holy Orders of the Templars, Hospitallers, and Teutons, as well as their old foes, the Mongols. So that's what you'll be playing for the expansion for the single-player lovers out there. Then there's a bunch of achievements, which I'm not going to go over. Masteries, I mean, that's just a lot of stuff. And then that's it. That is our next information, and that is, yeah, that's literally about it for the news that we got today. So, in general, I'm very hyped about this. Obviously, we got some new information about the new civs. Cannot wait to grind the hell out of those. The new maps, I think a few of them definitely look really good. Or, you know, let's count. Let's count real quick before we move on. So we got. We'll just leave this on neutral. 1, 2, 3, 4. So potentially 5 of the 10 maps could be really good, or good, I should say, not necessarily really good. And this map, I'm not sure. I have to see it to really give. Like I said, these are like, I'm putting these 2 on neutral until I see them, so they don't count. So 5 out of 8 is what I'm gonna say. Look like they have the potential to be good and fun to play on, or at least better than the current maps that we've had for the past, you know, couple years. Yeah, hopefully. I'm very curious if we're gonna get any news next week, because next week is the last week until the expansion, which comes out on November 14th. And now we will, boom. Blade looks like a monkey head. Oh my god, I see it now that you mention it. That really does look like a monkey head. How much is the expansion going to cost?